Seems like it. Okay. I was told that I should tell you that the codes for the Wi-Fi only work on laptops and not on cell phones, unfortunately. So, it's that. I don't know. I don't find it plausible either. I was told to tell you. Okay. Many parts of coreboot come not only from the firmware development section, but also from distributions, and not every part of the community is a developer. I guess most people are not developers, most people are users and users. And the next, our next speaker is one of those people where the BSD community and the coreboot community come together. So, give a round of applause for Piotr.
Okay, thanks. I'm Piotr Kubaj. I use coreboot actually exclusively. I also use FreeBSD and OpenBSD systems as opposed to Linux, as most people do with coreboot. I'm going to talk about the challenges, the problems that I met using coreboot with BSD systems. Turns out it's not as simple as running Linux. There are some issues. I don't talk about them. First, about me. I'm a fan of open source software, hardware solution. I actually run mostly open source software. I guess I don't really use any proprietary software. As I said, I run BSD systems. It's actually only FreeBSD and OpenBSD. I also look for other open hardware which doesn't run coreboot, but doesn't have the proprietary bits like management engine or so. For a job, I'm a sysadmin. I manage web servers, mail servers, etc. I'm also a maintainer of FreeBSD ports, so I try to send some patches and contribute a bit. Okay, so why would you want to run BSD system when you can run Linux, you might say? It's quiet, like why would you run Linux when you can run Windows or Mac OS? Some people just prefer, for OpenBSD, for example, it tries to follow the keys philosophy. It's as simple as possible for the opposite of System D. It won't have anything like that. When OpenBSD developers want to introduce some feature, they want to keep it as simple as possible. They try to squeeze some code so that the features that 1% of users need won't be there, because those features often make the code end up 10 times larger. Makes the system really small. It's actually about 200 megabytes ISO or something, and that includes X11, compiler, the whole tool chain, actually everything for a really small environment. The system in almost 20 years had only 2 remote code execution vulnerabilities. There are also some others, like local DOS, kernel panics, etc. But for the system to have 2 remote vulnerabilities, that's quite nice. For a personal note, I've used many Linux distributions, some Unix systems, other BSDs, OpenIndiana. OpenBSD has actually been the most stable OS I've used. I've seen a few kernel panics, but they happened when the HDD was failing, so that's quite understandable. It's released twice a year, about April and October, so the software doesn't get old. Your grandma's Debian is probably much older. The release is supported for 1 year, so 2 last releases is supported at the same time. And as it turns out, OpenBSD developers run OpenBSD on ThinkPads, so ThinkPads are supported great. I guess just the same as with coreboot. If you run not so new ThinkPad, you can get coreboot and OpenBSD running great. So that's for the introduction. More about OpenBSD. It has many security features that end up later. They are introduced in OpenBSD and then end up later in other OSs. For example, in Windows, Linux. The example, I have ASRock. ASRock was actually introduced first as a patch for Linux, but OpenBSD policy is that the security must be enabled by default. It can't be like with SR Linux, when you can just turn it off and on. It can't be like this. So OpenBSD was the first OS to actually enable ASRock. It also was the first OS to include WSOS, which is the it's a technology. Not the technology. It's a feature. You can't really have write and writable and executable pages in the memory. You can only have one. You can only write to the memory or execute it. Later, after introducing write so execute, Microsoft also introduced it in Windows XP SP2, I guess. But OpenBSD was the first OS to do it. Also, in Linux systems, not so long ago, one had to run X11 as a root or as SUID executable. Now it's possible to run as a user, but it took quite a while. OpenBSD was also the first OS to enable X11 not running as root. Linux followed actually a few months later. So another nice thing I like OpenBSD is that if they find some software unacceptable, full of vulnerabilities, they just write their own implementation. There's many of such software. For example, OpenNTPD, which is written from scratch, implementation of NTP protocol. Actually, the reference implementation has quite a lot of vulnerabilities. Every few months, some pop up. After Heartbeat happened, a few years ago, I think it was 2014, they also forked OpenSSL. It was 101 then, and named it LibreSSL. They deleted about, I guess, 1/4 or a quarter of code, or 1/3, something like that. That code later ended up as vulnerabilities. They avoided that. LibreSSL is now used for other systems. There are some Linux distributions using it. There's TrueOS, FreeBSD distribution. I also heard Apple has adopted it in macOS and iOS. Also, there's OpenSSH, which everyone uses. It's also from OpenBSD guys. There's also quite a lot of other software. It's here, there's many other, there's SMTP server, OSPF, BGP, there's many of others. If they don't like it, they just rewrite it or make a new software. That's quite nice, I like it. And about FreeBSD, because the talk is also about it. It has quite a different model. The system is divided in the base system and the packages, which are just third-party programs. The base system has fixed release model, but the packages they are in port tree, they are rolling release, which means you can just run all the release of FreeBSD. If it's supported, the port tree programs will work, and you can have new programs from the port tree. For example, you can run FreeBSD 10.3 from, I guess, 2 years ago, and recent software on it. That's nice. It's also very customizable. You can run, there are some default versions of software. For example, for PHP it's 5.6. Default MySQL port is MySQL 5.6 also, but there are PerconaDB, MariaDB, and you can choose, if you compile yourself the ports and not use packages, you can choose the versions. For example, use newer PHP, newer MySQL, for example MariaDB, LibreSSL instead of OpenSSL. There are also some other software you can use with newer or even older versions, like newer Ruby, and the list goes on. For that reason, it's very customizable. Only Gentoo would be actually better in this regard. The number of ports is really big. Debian might sound much better because it's about 50,000. In FreeBSD it's about 27,000. But the reason is that with Debian you have, for example, LibreOffice divided to, I don't know, 20 packages or something, because there are debugging packages. Every component is in a different package. With FreeBSD you can get something like with Gentoo. There's one source package, so LibreOffice is in one package. It doesn't end up as 20 packages. That's why the number is much lower. Okay. Another thing, what about the base system? I like that ZFS is already there. With Linux, if you want to install on ZFS, well, you can get around it. At my work, we do it, but it's usually only possible as a non-root partition with only, for example, home. You can install on root, but that's a lot of work. When you update the kernel, you need to work around some problems. With FreeBSD, ZFS is supported from the installer. You can just run it. It works great on servers, laptops, whatever. For those who don't know, it provides many features like snapshots, compression, deduplication, checksums. You can set everything on the live system. You don't have to, for example, format the file system to do it. It requires more RAM than, for example, X4, but there's also UFS file system, which is the old Unix file system. It's much more light. ZFS is actually a combination of file system and volume manager. You can have software write on, for example, FreeBSD. It's called Write Z. It's actually kind of Write 3, then Write 5. There are also other combinations. You don't need hardware write controller. You can just use software. Sun, when first introduced ZFS to Solaris, they stopped shipping hardware write servers. They just did everything with ZFS. And it's very stable. So another feature one might like about FreeBSD is J's. They are a method of paravirtualization and containerization. Why paravirtualization? It runs a common kernel with the host system, so you can't actually run a newer release on the older kernel. Only the reverse is possible. Well, running new release might work, but it's not supported. It actually has almost no overhead, so you can run hundreds, thousands of J's in one host. The problem is actually the process is running in J's. So if you run, for example, web server, that's a problem. If you run 1,000 web servers, that's an issue, but the J itself, it's not an issue. You can easily separate the J's. You can easily archive them to containerize them and deploy other J's based on them later. Okay, so that's about BSD. Yeah, open source. What is the worst that can happen? As I said, with coreboot and BSD systems, there are some issues. I tried to install those systems on those motherboards. Some were without any problems, which was fine. Some were without severe issues. On ASUS F2A85M, I used NVIDIA 650 Ti GPU because that's what I have. It's not really open source friendly, but I didn't have any other GPU from Radeon, for example. And I used CBIOS payload. I didn't try Trianoco. CBIOS is, I guess, most stable. So the problems I met that are product specific. Well, fixing them would require changing corporate philosophy. I like corporate philosophy. I wouldn't like to change that. So I guess the issue is that the BSD systems need to fix them. I actually agree with that. But still the issues remain. With OpenBSD, it actually runs fine, almost everywhere, I guess. With FreeBSD, well, FreeBSD doesn't have something like fan control. You need to, FreeBSD expects to have some BIOS or the UEFI taking care of fans. That's a big issue. for me. There was some work by Raptor and Timothy Pearson to take care of that. They ported OpenBSD to 2 boards. I ran one of them. It's nice. I talk about it later, but other boards are a problem. There was some work to port the hardware sensors framework from OpenBSD to FreeBSD. It was a GSOC project. It ended up well. It was committed into Dragonfly BSD, which is a fork of FreeBSD. It works well until today. And it was committed into FreeBSD, but some developer didn't like it. He wrote around on mailing list, and well, a day later it was reverted. So that was nice. The developer said that it needs to be solved in another way, but he didn't care to write the code. Also, the issue I noticed is that TPP on BSD systems is higher. On some boards it's much higher, on others actually quite similar, but still they maybe get some kind of order. On one board it was a cooling problem because the board was overheating. So, the first board is PC Engine's APO2. Actually, it was very nice. You can thank Piotr Kubaj for the experience here, because I didn't have any problems. I had some problems with NetBSD, but I don't talk about it here. OpenBSD and FreeBSD were just fine. I have APO2 as my main router at home. It has uptimes it goes for months. There are no problems. If you play with coreboot too much, if you break the board, there's nice the provider board. It's quite hard to actually cause a hard click. So another board is ThinkPad X200, which I use for this presentation. Actually, I had it for about 2.5 years. There's one main issue. I guess it's also with Linux, because I also experienced it with Linux. Is that the hardware can suspend and resume, but if I just suspend it even one time, then after some hours, it can be several hours, or it can be 10 minutes, it just freezes. I can't switch to TTY, I can't SSH, there's actually nothing. I had Linux on this laptop before. I experienced the same problem. I actually replaced a hard drive because I thought that was the problem. Well, it's the same actually. When I don't suspend it, it runs fine for weeks. So I guess that's the issue here. And there was some talk on IRC that there is this problem. It's not particularly well documented in the wiki, coreboot.org or anything, but some people talked about it. With FreeBSD, well, as I said before, FreeBSD doesn't support controlling of fans, so you kind of, well, you have a problem. OpenBSD constraint. I use OpenBSD here on this laptop for 2 years and it works. That was an old presentation, so I can omit it. I I guess you know how to flash. Another board here is ASRock E350M1. It's quite nice board. It's possible to automate fan control. That's why FreeBSD may work fine. Because if you upload the ROM image to coreboot, it can use the SAR bridge to automate the fan control. Unfortunately, it only works for the CPU. If you have a chassis fans, it won't work. But well, the board doesn't overheat. It may be a little loud, but I guess it depends on the chassis, on your case. If you have no case fans at all, I guess it's fine. OpenBSD works great with it, no problems. And I use this board, and that's where problems begin. It works as my personal server. I have some personal stuff here. I use FreeBSD exclusively all the time here. I tried OpenBSD for a few hours and it seems to work fine. But right now the problems are worked around. But at first there was some cooling problem with BSD systems, both OpenBSD and FreeBSD. The TDP is much larger on this board. It reaches about 90 degrees after 10 to 20 minutes. Then the board is shut down. I guess it's a hardware security feature. But well, that was a problem. I know the server doesn't have efficient cooling, but it works fine on vendor BIOS with FreeBSD. So I guess, even though that coreboot in this case sets fans to 100%, it doesn't help. The CPU just overheat. So after some months of trying to lower TDP system, I just bought another coolers. They work fine. I have no other problems with it right now. Another issue, which appeared after workarounding the cooling problem, is probably C states. When I start to, for example, compile something or serve or make high load on the server, the system randomly reboots. It doesn't really follow some pattern here, for example, after some time or something. No, it can run for hours if I don't do anything on it. If I make some high load, it reboots. There are no logs in the system, and I had a problem with that. I talked about it with Timothy Pearson. He ported this board to coreboot. He suggested disabling C states in the CMOS. It actually helped. A little issue is that fans run at 100% with FreeBSD. That may be an issue. Luckily, Timothy with Raptor Engineering ported OpenBSD stack to KGPE D16 and another board similar, KCMA-D8. That makes BMC available to this board. It was actually available before, but only the software, the firmware was written by ASUS. It was proprietary. I didn't want to use it. So I bought a BMC card, flashed the firmware image was actually quite easy from FreeBSD. It worked well, and that makes controlling fans possible from BSD. That's nice. And yeah, we have a photo here. At first there were some radiators and the cut. It wasn't enough. After putting in some another coolers, it works nice. Another board, I had it actually since a few months ago. It broke, and that's why I'm using this PC as my main PC right now. But I managed to run coreboot and BSD on it. Well, OpenBSD works just fine. I mentioned before that I use a GeForce GPU because I have no other. NVIDIA GPUs aren't supported well with OpenBSD, so there's only VESA here. Other than that, it works. It doesn't overheat. Sorry, it just works. With FreeBSD, well, it's an issue. Apparently, coreboot doesn't set fans to anything on this board. If I just boot Linux and set fans to 100%, then reboot, put into FreeBSD, the fans are running at 100%. If I turn the fans off on Linux, it's the same on FreeBSD. So that really doesn't help me. It's obviously FreeBSD's fault because it doesn't control fans, but that's a problem. Additionally, I'm not sure if it works fine on AMD GPUs, but it was a problem on NVIDIA. There are some booting messages at the beginning, then they stop. The system boots, I can see that in serial, I can SSH in before, later. Demon's load, everything's fine, but there's no output. It's actually, it can be worked around. If you just start X11, for example, via configuration, so it will start automatically. There is the Jaffe cut works. You can get X11 to have output, but you can't switch to TTY. There's only serial here. That's not a little issue, a big issue for me. I can live with that. But the issue here is that you can't control the fans. That's a problem. As long as you do nothing, I guess it will just fine. It will be fine. Another laptop I tried to flash coreboot on is ThinkPad X230. The last ThinkPad available with coreboot. Well, it ended up not well. Why broke? I had problems with getting proper ROM image. I guess everyone has such problems. With X200, I used ATX PSU. For X230, I used 3.5 volt PSU for router. It worked fine, but I couldn't get a ROM image, the checksums were different, etc. non-stuff. Some guy suggested using Lenovo PSU. You use it like you put the PSU to the laptop, you turn wake on LAN, and apparently the chip should be on, so it should be possible to get an image. Unfortunately, just when I started to get a ROM image with the clips, the board sent some white smoke, and well, after some time I managed to get the image, but the board didn't boot after that. I didn't make any flashing, so it was still with vendor Wi-Fi, so coreboot is not as possible, but flashing. So that's it about this board, but unfortunately, I still had a warranty, so I just talked to the seller, said things like, well, it just broke, I don't know why. I don't really know about computers that much. And well, after some weeks, they apparently had a problem with troubleshooting why it broke. They didn't think about coreboot flashing. They replaced the laptop, so it's fine now, but I'm kind of worried about making another flash. And that's it about the boards, actually. I also looked at some alternatives to coreboot with things like OpenBSD, etc. There apparently is Novena board. It's supposed to be fully open ARM board, quite low power, but still can be nice. There's Turisomnia. It runs, they have OpenWRT on it. It's installed by the vendor. It seems to be also quite nice. And other coreboot motherboards, well, as we know with ME, BSD, x86 is quite a dead end. So I don't like that route. I like Talos 2 by Raptor. It's actually a pre-order right now, but it will come out this year. It uses two Max 2 IBM Power 9 CPUs. It's actually quite powerful, even for today's standards, a server or desktop system, workstation. It has, you can put 2 terabytes of RAM, have two 24 cores with 4 threads each, so 192 cores. That's quite nice. And I know two FreeBSD developers are trying to port FreeBSD to Power 9 and Power 8, so it will work. As I talked with Timothy Pearson, he hopes to have FreeBSD on it by the launch of Talos 2. So, that's it actually. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, we have about 5 minutes of questions until the next talk. So, thank you very much. Give a round of applause. Let's see if there are questions.
Okay, so there are some different similar BSD-based systems. There is FreeBSD, NetBSD, OpenBSD, FreeBSD, I believe. What about the kernels? Kernels are the work of the kernels, are these shared between them, or what? Because on the Linux side we've got a single kernel for all the distributions, and on the BSD side there are several of them, I believe. Right?
Right. It's actually about the history of BSD systems. BSD was started in Berkeley University in 70s. When the university had money, the system was developed. At the beginning of 90s, it decided to cut BSD group off. It didn't have the money, so the BSD group released the code, and that's when there was a split off. From the BSD system came FreeBSD and NetBSD. Then from NetBSD came OpenBSD, from FreeBSD came DragonFlyBSD, and that's it. And those are the 4 main BSD systems right now. They have a common ancestor, but they are different systems right now. You can't just compile a binary for FreeBSD and run it on OpenBSD. There may be some source compatibility, but that's all.
Okay, any more questions? Yeah, my question is, what commit hash or which state did you test? Always latest master, or is that?
I actually used the releases of coreboot set to be tested, so I used the 4.6 release.
Okay, and then just a suggestion. We have this bug tracker, so
Get it?
yeah, no, it's a Redmine installation under ticket.coreboot.org. Maybe you can report issues for there so that it's documented. And yeah, and I don't know, probably talk to the other guys. We have the sports status repository. It would be great if you could upload also some results.
Yeah, I know about this repository. I actually used configs from there, but I didn't really know how to upload the configs, the working configs. So that's it, I guess.
This is time for a few questions. No more questions? Okay then, thank you, Piotr. Give another round of applause. Our next speaker is about to join us via a video conference chat. So Philip is setting that up right now, and yeah, we'll be back there.